Okay, let's catch up with Tim Blair from the Daily Telegraph and Mark Nicholson from Stepmate Studios. Good to have you together again, gentlemen. There's so much bad news around today. I thought we'd start off with something a little flippant, a little bit lighthearted, although it's not supposed to be. And I have to warn everyone at home, don't throw stuff at your TV again, because I'm going to show you the latest social media post from Chris Bowen.
You can say the wind doesn't always blow and the sun doesn't always shine. Well, the rain doesn't always fall either, but we manage to store the water. We can store the renewable energy if we have the investment. And that is investment that has been lacking for the last decade. That's the problem.
Mark, if we can store water, we can store electricity, apparently. The solution is for everyone to install an electricity tank on their house.
Mate, this bloke is off. Even the graphics of that video is just off as well, by the way. It's just absolutely terrible. He couldn't even afford the energy to run his computer on a new update of Photoshop, to be honest, or Adobe Premiere. It's absolutely back in the 90s. And then we were talking about Snowy Hydro the other day. When I did an episode of Please Explain on Snowy Hydro 2.0 and the amount of money that's gone into that black hole, that's scary what's going into that. And this is the sort of bloke that keeps throwing in good money after bad, billions and billions of dollars for this, what is essentially just a big water battery. They've got to go. It's just, we've got to have it. We have enough of this. It's all over. Come on, figure it out.
Tim, I think the Liberal Party could do worse than just to repost all of Chris Bowen's social media.
Well, is he aiming to win a second election for the coalition? Because he's done it before. The boy's got form in 2019. He ripped defeat from the jaws of victory very effectively. But like the simplistic play school nature of this announcement that, if you can store water, you can store this other stuff. Yeah. There are other stuff, By the way, we can store petrol. And we can store them in petrol stations, and you can go and get them. Yeah. And if you want to put them in your car, you can store it there as well.
He just needs to do a post where he says, if you don't want me to be Energy Minister anymore, vote coalition. That'd be a winner for him. Now, speaking of batteries, you've been hot on this for a long while, Tim. Look at the latest factory fire in Melbourne today.
Authorities made aware of the fire at 8:30 a.m. It's understood the 000 caller reported lithium batteries had caught fire.
Batteries exploding, like gunshots, and then all the smoke started, and then it was just black. Couldn't see it, and it just hasn't stopped.
In a battery place, you've got silica acids and leads and things. You can really smell it. It's not good at all.
OK, we'll wait a confirmation from proper investigations, but it sounds like batteries involved again, Tim.
Absolutely, and I know we occasionally make a bit of fun of people who are still wearing their masks, but I tell you what, if you're around a lithium battery fire and you're smelling that incredibly unnatural and chemically loaded kind of smell that you get from those types of fires, I think we'd all be wearing masks, double, triple, quadruple masks, because that's not a healthy cloud.
Now, Mark, I've got to get your thoughts on this. I'm all in favour of people having flexibility at work. We all understand how that's a good thing these days. But I love the way Donald Trump has told the federal government workers in the US it's time to turn up in the office, and he's actually cranked it up a little bit in the last 24 hours.
We don't want them to work from home because, as everyone knows, most of the time they're not working. They're not very productive. If they don't agree by February 6th to show up back to work in their office, they will be terminated, and we will therefore be downscaling our government, which is something that the last 10 presidents have tried very hard to do but failed.
It's a great way to get smaller government, isn't it?
Mate, I love this. I absolutely love this. As a bloke who runs a very small operation, but having staff all the time asking for 4-day work weeks, more public holidays, working from home, just to see him come in here, not muck about, just get it done, pull the string. There was a brief time when I was at uni, I worked for a couple of days at the Department of Justice, and I got yelled at the water cooler by one of the people there that said, "Hey, settle down, you're making us look bad," just because I stayed back for half an hour. The federal government over there, if I was a taxpayer, I would hate the idea that my taxpayer money is going to people that are just staying home, staying in their pyjamas, not working. If you're earning taxpayer money, you should be working extra hard because it's such a gift to be in a job like that. It's awesome. I love this.
Some federal government departments in Australia, in Canberra, have 70% of their people working from home. So this is something that maybe Peter Dutton ought to follow up here. I do want to go to a new star of politics around the world. We didn't get time because of the press conference to show her last night. She's Caroline Levitt. She's Donald Trump's new press secretary. She's only 27 years old, a young mother, and man, can she handle these dudes in the press pack. Have a look.
Of the 3,500 arrests ICE has made so far since President Trump came back into office, can you just tell us the numbers? How many have a criminal record versus those who are just in the country illegally?
All of them, because they illegally broke our nation's laws and therefore they are criminals as far as this administration goes. I know the last administration didn't see it that way, so it's a big culture shift in our nation to view someone who breaks our immigration laws as a criminal, but that's exactly what they are.
You may have kind of one of the worst first. They all have a criminal record?
And welcome to the briefing. If they broke our nation's laws, yes, they are criminal.
Tim, she's a straight talker.
I just love the whole question. Like, how many of these illegal immigrants are illegal? that was the essence of the question. Yeah. The criminality of these criminals. Can you define that criminality? It's like, and then the straight answer happens, and they're all sort of taken aback. What's happening here? It's as though we're looking at pre and post Cold War Russia or something. You know, it's like they're all saying, you know, but according to the official government statistics, tractor manufacturing is up by 40,000%. You know, they're coming from a different time. You know, they're still pushing the whole Biden era stuff, and it's gone. Yeah.
It is gone. Thanks so much for joining us, Tim and Mark. We'll catch you next week. Yeah, treating criminals like criminals. Perish the thought.